NERDVENGERS! Good morning. Oh, shit. Keep my eye on the road. Sorry. Good morning. Hope you guys are having a good morning so far. On my way to the tower. I'm a little bit behind today, you know, and I feel like I'm just a little bit off the mark. You ever have a day like that where you're just like, man, like I'm lagging a little bit, like I'm kind of screwing this up, you know, I got to do all these things. I feel super behind, you know, I don't know. Having one of those days. But we're going to get through it together. Chet, pull me around to the front view. Yeah, okay. So look, we got a lot to talk about today. It's going to be a good show. Yesterday, it was almost like prophetic. What we discussed in the morning, what we talked about on the stream with regards to Will Poulter. He's the guy. James Gunn was like, oh, hello. I think I'll just confirm this. And Kevin Feige was like, God damn it, bro. But he did it anyway. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. We're also going to get into some updates about the Punisher news. I talked about this yesterday in a video, but there's even more updates about this, which are kind of fun. Want to get into that and more. Plus, we have a lot to discuss about the BBS, about the denofnerds.com. Go there. Lambo win. Soon. All right, I'll see you in the tower. I'm pulling up now. Much better. What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Turn that down. No, I know I said to turn it up. Turn it down. You got to know immediately when I want it to be turned. Okay. What's up, everybody? Gonna be a good show. It's shaping up to be a very good week. Alex Rios, welcome to the NERDVENGERS. You are a NERDVENGER now. Welcome, welcome. How are you guys doing? You guys let me know in the chat. The tower is too spooky? Get scared every time you try to come out of the elevator? Yeah, it's a little spooky, isn't it? But it's spooky season, bruh. It's spooky season. By the way, just out of curiosity, is there a spooky movie you guys would like us to watch and talk about for Movie Bros this week? We were gonna talk about James Bond, which, you know, we still might do, and I might just do like a James Bond vid myself. But Theory's just really, really busy this week. And so we're going to be going on Thursday. Oh, thank you, Game Over, Josie. We're going to be going on Thursday, and I'm thinking we might just have to do a scary movie. You know what I mean? I feel like that's what we'll probably have to do. It's spooky season. We might have to do something like that. Maybe I'll put a poll up on the Movie Bros channel later today. New Mutants? Ugh. Oh, God. Uh-oh. Never Lose Your Nerd says, I hate this casting news. Really? This guy? Yeah, it appears to be really this guy. We're going to get into that. Okay, so let's begin with that. Definitely want to talk about that with you guys. Again, it's sort of prophetic, right? We talked about this yesterday, and weird how it all happens, right? I even saw that Lizzie Hill, she even did an article before it was confirmed, talking about sort of just where they've come from, or where this scoop has come from, and sort of the validity of that scoop. And it's really interesting, man, because they couldn't get it confirmed right up until this guy. Pull it up on the research board. Yeah, this guy, James Gunn himself, confirmed it. Okay? So Deadline came out and said, yes, Will Poulter will indeed be playing Adam Warlock. I think that's a good picture of him. He looks very Adam Warlock there to me. But I found this to be fascinating, right? So we talk about this in the morning. A lot of people were excited about it. A lot of you guys weren't that excited about it, like just being real. We polled it, and I want to say it came in at about 50%, right? 50% of people were feeling it, 50% of people weren't feeling it. I think one of the things is about Will here is that he has been cast before in stuff where he's sort of a comedic relief, sort of a comedy type character, and people want Adam Warlock to be super badass, super powerful, and not like a jokey McJokerston. You know what I mean? He's an interesting cat, Adam Warlock, and I kind of said this yesterday, but I'm still on this train here, guys. It's very likely he's going to be a comedic character. It's just very likely to not be the character that we have in comics with Adam Warlock. And if you just think about it, you know, coming from the mind of James Gunn and like sort of his take on the Golden People, and even the fact that Adam Warlock's created by the Golden People, this is different. This is not what happens in the comic books. You know what I mean? So, I don't know exactly what to tell people. I think he's going to do a good job. I'm interested to see what take they have on Adam Warlock in the movie. I honestly can't really imagine him playing that much of a significant role in the film. It's, of course, possible, and who knows exactly what's going on in that film. But from what we understand, like the High Evolutionary, Rocket's origins, the search for Gamora, there's a lot of things going on in this movie. So even though Adam Warlock was sort of teased out as this being here, I don't know. I don't know how significant of a role he'll play in the film. I guess we'll find out. I guess that's kind of an interesting thing with you guys. How big of a role do you guys think that he's going to play in the film? You know what I mean? I don't know. But regardless, a pretty interesting turn of events here, man. And to me, this is wild because I'm sure this is not supposed to be happening. You know what I mean? Like, James Gunn says here, as you guys know, I often strike down false rumors. So, welcome to the Guardians of the Galaxy family, Will Poulter. He's an amazing actor and a wonderful guy. See you in a couple of weeks. Crazy. Like, he's literally like, yeah, this is the guy. I'm confirming this, and I'll see you in a couple of weeks. Marvel, I can't imagine wanting this information to come out, even though it is broken in the Hollywood trades. It's one of those tricky things where I still believe that Feige's probably a little bit upset about this being confirmed. Will Poulter here says, thank you, James. It's a genuine honor to play this role and to work with you. I'm very excited to get to work. Kind of fun. This, I think, is a little bit more interesting than even the role of Adam Warlock, and that is the possibility of the Magus. The Magus, who is like a version, like an evil version of Adam Warlock, right? And this dude is a badass. This dude's so crazy. Like, he's a big, big threat in Marvel Comics and in the universe in general, right? So, with Will Poulter being, this dude, I guess we can assume that he would also play Magus. If that's the way they want to go with it, I don't know. I think it could be fun. I kind of said this yesterday. I'm not exactly that pumped about Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 just in general. But it is certainly big news out there. It's certainly crazy. And it made a lot of waves yesterday, okay? So a lot of people were talking about this. Curious as to what you guys think. Maybe go over some of that in the chat. Talk about it a little bit. A couple other things I wanted to get into. I want to get into some Punisher news here. But I want to talk about this, okay? Because yesterday I tweeted this out, and a lot of people, like Stormy and some others, kind of give me that whole bruh kind of face, that whole, like, bruh kind of vibe on this. Because, like, what I was saying here is, and this is coming from Nate Moore, I do believe, that Black Knight, or rather Dane Whitman, will not become Black Knight in the Eternals movie. That he's going to just more or less be this archaeologist, this earthbound love interest of Jenna Chan, and not Black Knight. He's not going to be suiting up. He's not going to have the ebony blade. He's not going to be doing all that kind of stuff, right? This was actually rumored a while ago. This was rumored a while ago. A lot of you guys are saying great casting. He has the physicality for the role. I agree with that. To me, and this was rumored a while ago when the leaked post-credit scene, and a lot of those leaks, by the way, seem more and more real, right? That we're going to have 2 post-credit scenes to Marvel's The Eternals. Slight spoilers ahead, I guess. I'll keep it brief here if you want to just plug your ears and run around or something like that. Y'all, can we just wait till the movie comes out? No. No, we cannot, Dodds Views. Y'all going to ruin Eternals before it even comes out? Yep, here we go. I'm going to ruin it right now, Dodds. Get ready. I'm going to ruin it all right now. So, the 2 post-credit scenes for the Eternals, rumored to be one with Dane sort of either getting the blade or unraveling the blade or basically like suiting up with the Ebony Blade and becoming the Black Knight. The other one is apparently with Star Fox. You know what I mean? And it is apparently with, that one's apparently going to be pretty freaking wild. But this has long been rumored, long been out there on the interwebs about how that will go. And then you get yesterday, Nate Moore, more or less coming out and saying, yeah, he's not going to be Black Knight in the Eternals movie. And I was like, I'm kind of bummed about that. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Ms. Becky says, Will Poulter is not my first choice for the part, but he was great in The Maze Runner, so I'm curious. Fair. Totally fair. I don't know. Do you guys think I'm off base here? Do you think it's okay that Dane's just going to be chilling in the film? Because I know, like, in all honesty, I am excited for the Eternals. I think the Eternals is going to be fun. You know what I mean? I think the Eternals is going to be a fun movie. However, I was excited for the prospect of, like, a human and, like, a earthbound hero and a dude like that being able to stand toe-to-toe or do something significant within the film. It kind of feels like he's not going to be doing that much in the movie. Do you think I'm off base here? Are you guys okay with patiently waiting more or less until Dane Whitman becomes the Black Knight? Because I hope we get to see more of him. You know what I mean? I hope we get to see more of him, and I hope there's more Black Knight down the line. He's a fun character. You know what I mean? But yeah, pretty much confirmed that he's not going to be Black Knight in the film. It takes a little bit of the wind out of my sails. You know what I mean? What are you talking about? You guys are wild, man. You guys is wild. Wild in the streets. I'm way off base. A lot of people are like, I'm waiting. It's all good. Don't rush them. I'm patient. Okay, fine. Fine. Well, whatever then. Guys. Whatever. Anyway, let's talk about some of this Punisher stuff, man. This is kind of fun. Did you all see this?
I know they pick up sometimes.
I did a video talking about this briefly yesterday. However, and hang on, I need to pause this
Again,
music here.
anytime soon.
Oh man, I honestly I have no idea. You know, and that isn't just like the standard but like you know, I just feel with a lot of these things, I'd sort of in a way be kind of the last to know. And again, like I just don't think the question is about, you know, whether they're going to do it. It's going to be about how they do it and whether we can do it the way that the character and the fans deserve. And again, if the answer is yes, that would be amazing.
Okay, so this is coming from an interview. There's also a little bit of an update here from a video in a channel called Small Screen, which apparently did talk about how we will be getting new Punisher stuff coming up. So I want to go over that vid, but I want to do a poll here. I want to ask you guys this. Do you think Disney can do the Punisher right? I'm quite curious. I'm quite curious as to what you guys think about this. And then we're going to get into sort of this video here where they're talking about that. Again, we did the video yesterday. I thought his comments, and that was actually a separate interview there than the one that I covered in the video yesterday. his comments about the Punisher were so cool to me because he's saying essentially, like, it's not about if they want to do it. It's not about if anybody wants to do it. It's all about, can we do it the right way? And he was talking about how, like, this character's, like, in his bones, and he just feels this strong attachment to the character, and so he would love to do it, but it's not about if, it's about how. Like, can they do it the right way? And I sort of talked about yesterday how there's certainly a contingent of fans, and even myself, that have sort of these doubts, right, about Disney's ability to really and truly go there with the character, especially in today's day and age where things are a little bit weird about that. Looks like 60% of you guys say so far yes. Now let's watch this little video here.
And not give you guys any fluff. Charlie Cox, Jon Bernthal, and Kristen Ritter have all been in negotiations to appear in multiple MCU projects. The word around the Marvel camp is that Jon Bernthal really wants to play the Punisher again, but has been negotiating hard on the contract. These things take time, especially when actors have things set in their mind, like more money. And who's to blame them? These properties make bazillions of dollars. Right, the farthest along of all these projects is a Punisher series. Yes, they're developing a series for the Punisher and desperately negotiating to have Jon Bernthal come back to play Frank Castle. We've been told that whether the series will be on Hulu or on Disney Plus Star is yet to be determined. They're still figuring all that out at the moment. The source indicated that they've known about this for quite a few months now, and things are really starting to gear up in development. They didn't want to mention anything to us until there was some concrete evidence and that it was actually really, really happening. And we love that. That's quite a bit of information for all of us to process, but we're not stopping there. So hold on to your butts as we have a lot more details on the Punisher and Daredevil. Just do us a favor and hit that like, subscribe, and that bell icon for us so we can keep dishing out.
So let's stop there for a second. So pretty freaking wild. I think it is actually Paul's brother, or maybe his uncle. Maybe Paul's uncle that finally figured he would join in on the game as well. But okay, so that's pretty wild, right? Like yesterday in the video, and like what I was talking about was kind of just, you know, comments made by Bernthal popping up again. I sort of talked about this because, what? Y'all better get those like buttons smashed. There's damn near 500 people in here and we can't get the likes up. Gonna need those likes up. Don't do it for me. Do it for Punisher in the MCU. So we talked about this yesterday just kind of as something that could be happening. I was like, man, there's precedence here. They're bringing back all these Netflix characters, including Vincent D'Onofrio, et cetera, et cetera. It's like, whoa, will they actually do Punisher? But according to this right here, like, they're saying, oh, bro, like, it's in development. Like, the Punisher project is in development, and they desperately want Jon Bernthal back. According to this report here, he's really sort of pushing or sticking him on the contract. And to be honest with you, as he should. You know, like, look at the ScarJo situation. Look at some of these other things going on, you know, in contract land and all that. And it's like, yeah, you should get paid, man. Get your money, especially because, like, to me, here's the thing. You got to think of the wish fulfillment of this happening. If they've obviously got, I believe they've obviously got Charlie Cox back, and they've got him in a big role, man. Like, he's coming back to do a lot of work. Oh, VV in 10 minutes. Thank you so much. Thank you. Appreciate that, Ryan. Get on that VV in a second. Yeah. Good luck to all of you, by the way, for this. What the mother-loving love of mothers? All right, let me pull that up there. Yeah, this first appearance of Miles Morales, right? I'm excited. Wait, what? My VV app just crashed. What in tarnation? Okay, let me try to get this going on here. Okay, cool. Got it picked up. So you got to think about the wish fulfillment and the fact that, like, they've got Charlie Cox, right? They've got Vincent D'Onofrio, from what we understand, and they're looking to bring more and more of these people in. And Bernthal, I mean, he's saying the right things to the fans. Like, I sort of talked about this yesterday, but it's like when he said those comments, I felt as a fan like it's not just a good sign. It's the sign of, if his name becomes attached to a Punisher thing, we'll go back to those comments and feel put at ease, right? We will feel as fans, wow, we're going to be taken care of. This is going to be awesome. And Jon absolutely gets it. He gets the character and he gets what fans want, and it's a really, really big deal. So that's pretty freaking crazy.
That's all
Let's
this
keep going
stuff.
here.
And if you haven't, make sure to check out our interview with Jeremy Webb, director of Netflix's The Punisher, Umbrella Academy, and more. Right, there's a script for The Punisher already. Yes, it's that far
Thank you,
along.
Dorian.
Oh, yeah,
Appreciate
and
that, man.
We do have some information about the script. I mean, no big deal. To quote the source, "It sounds badass.
Nice.
It's looking like it'll be pretty violent. Like the Netflix show. I think it'll be the MCU's most violent show yet.
As it should
won't be a continuation from the previous show, though. It sounds as though it'll be a new start, probably an alternate timeline." They had some more details, but let's break down what we just heard. First, it won't be a continuation of the Netflix series, which was one of the theories that fans had for a while now, mainly because Kevin Feige likes to put his own spin on characters and keep them in line with what he has planned for the MCU. So this indicates highly that the Netflix properties will be starting afresh at the MCU, albeit with the original actors, once negotiations are complete, that is.
So we've talked about this before. Oh, and they're going to get into the timeline thing here. But this is really what it seems like they're going to do. They're sort of going to reference. We talked about this in the Echo report. We talked about this, when it comes to Daredevil. They're going to sort of play coy about the characters. And in a sense, the relationships that the characters have will still be established and it'll still be a totally real thing. But we're going to find that it's not a direct continuation of those characters. Things will be different. And everywhere from like maybe even the looks of the characters will be different, but it will be the same actors. So there's like this thing going on here. We assume it may have something to do with the alternate timeline.
They stated it would probably be in an alternate timeline. If there ever was a time to do that, it would be now.
Right.
With the MCU diving heavily into multiverse territory, this is their chance to grab all the fan favorite properties and bring them into the MCU fold. Big multiverse events in the comics have reset continuity and timelines for decades now, so why not in the films? It's been a great technique for Marvel Publishing to get their characters and storylines in order to attract and let new readers jump in, with a few caveats, looking at you X-Men. So why not do the same for films and television? Kevin Feige has used the blueprints of what works and what doesn't work from the decades of Marvel Comics. Him using the multiverse to get all his cards in order definitely makes sense. It also seems...
So I guess the question would be then, are we talking about how... Like, will this be a totally separate timeline to even the MCU? Like, are they going to do something really, really wild where you could have Punisher in, like, a zombie world or Punisher in, like, something like a what if, which would really, really separate it from what was going on? Is this a world where Punisher's hunting down heroes or something like that? Like, and they've done, crazy things like that in the past. Or is this going to be in the same timeline with the MCU and have, basically in the same way that like Venom's coming in? There's a lot of confusion here. Like when they say separate timeline, like that's really weird. I know we're doing multiverse right now, and I know the multiverse is like the whole thing for Marvel currently, but it's weird that they would say that. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that it's very likely going to be in our timeline, and it'll be our Punisher. But maybe they'd be doing that just to have that really, really violent thing happen. I also find it pretty interesting they're talking about Hulu versus Disney Plus. That's weird to me. Like, I've never really thought MCU stuff would really happen on Hulu. But Hulu technically has more mature content and sort of more adult content than what you have on Disney. So it is possible, and it could be sort of used to leverage the draw to the freaking Hulu thing. So I don't know. Let's keep watching.
Seems like
see what else
DC
they
Films
say.
is trying to do the same thing, however sloppily. But I digress. Right, back to the Punisher series with Jon Bernthal. The source went on to say that it sounds like it's going to be a hard R, so really violent and gory. They also said, and this has us really excited, that Frank Castle will be kind of a villain at the start, and he'll be on the run. That's a great concept and makes a lot of sense for the mob-killing vigilante. What's also cool is that the source said...
Okay, let's stop there. Awesome, right? And do you see, like, I'm sure, like, look, the Nerdvengers are really, really smart. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are really, really smart. I mean, other than like Nikki, no offense. But you guys are like cream of the crop type dudes and gals. You know that when it rains, it pours with this kind of stuff. And you start to see a little bit of the behind the scenes connective tissue, the way this stuff is all webbed together here. Because what did we just talk about in the video yesterday, right? Jon's making all these comments about how if we're going to do it, it's got to be super, super violent and all these different things. Do you think it's coincidence? And by the way, this came out September. This came out in September, y'all. You know what I mean? This came out way before the comments that are currently coming out about Jon Bernthal, right? So do you think it's really coincidence that this report is out there about how they want to do the show as a really, really hard R? And then when he's getting asked, like, think about the perspective of Jon. When he's being asked about these projects, right? When he's being asked about his involvement in these sort of things, it's like he's got to figure out a way to maneuver around the question while also giving something to the fans. I think he's trying to sort of winky wink speak to us about what he wants to do and what the show will end up being, while not giving away that, yeah, he's in deep negotiation and he's trying to get the bag. Oh, my God. Thanks for the VV update. I almost got lost out. I almost got lost in rambling Punisher Town. Hang on now. Hang on now, ladies and gentle beings. We got a minute and 20 seconds until that happens. Okay, really, really cool. So,
it'll
let's keep
also
going.
have Western vibes. They said think of
Western
Unforgiven by Clint
vibes.
Eastwood. To tie up Jon Bernthal, Charlie Cox, and Kristen Ritter coming back into the MCU, our source had to say this. Just know that Bernthal, Cox, and Ritter are pretty much dead cert for the MCU and might be involved in multiple shows and turn up, maybe, in some of the movies.
Yeah.
And this brings us to another piece of info they revealed. It looks like Marvel is looking to introduce the Punisher in the Moon Knight series.
What?
To quote the source, like a cameo or something.
Bruh. Oh, man. You know, that's fan-freaking-tastic, by the way. I know we got like 30 seconds here. Let's talk about that for a second. Dude, this is juicy. Like, this is juicy, baby. A cameo in the Moon Knight series? Bruh, it's perfect. Oscar Isaac and Jon have worked together. They like each other. They're both like into this sort of macho, crazy, violent stuff. And Moon Knight will, I think, obviously happen before a Punisher show would happen. But Moon Knight looks to be one of the darkest, craziest shows that they've done thus far. Wait, hang on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Bye now. Give it to me. Boom. Beautiful. I think I got one. I really like Miles Morales. I think Miles Morales is going to be coming into live action within the next couple of years, likely. So this could be a juicy one, guys. Let me know in chat. Did y'all get one? Did you get one of the VV drops? Let me know in the chat. Did you get one? How do I always get one? I don't know. Maybe it's the power of the NERDVENGERS. Wait, I still have a buy now option. Oh, nope. They're sold out. I don't know. It could be the internet. It could be the upload speed. It could be a number of different things. I don't really know. You got one? Hey, that's dope. That is dope. Yeah, I think the internet speed definitely plays a role there. Guys, crazy. A cameo of Punisher in the Moon Knight show? That is sick, dude. That feels right to me. That feels exciting. Like, some of this stuff, like, again, Marvel, look, Marvel does a lot of stuff. Disney does a lot of stuff. I kind of wanted to further explain my comments about the Eternals yesterday as well. You know what I mean? Just because, like, look, the Eternals to me, I'm very excited for the film. I think it's really cool, but just being real, the idea of really focusing on like diversity as a big draw to the film, that's going to really land with some people. And obviously I think representation matters, but it's not like the biggest draw in the world for me. I'm a comic book sweaty. I'm more about the comics. I'm more about these experiences I've had with these characters in the books and while playing games, etc., etc. We always say this. One of the best things that Kevin Feige does is he gives toys to all of the kids, right? So maybe some newer, younger comic book fans that really care deeply about a lot of that sort of stuff, or like a character like Kamala Khan, and they're like, yo, this is the shit. They're into different things than old, crazy, grumpy comic book fans like myself are into. But so long as Marvel can, in one hand, make, the She-Hulk show, the Marvels, do, sort of just stuff that maybe isn't completely aimed at someone like me, but they can also do Moon Knight and set up Punisher, and start to set up like some of the criminal underground and like characters like that. Like, that's personally what I'm a little bit more into and interested in. But it's fantastic that we're all able to get something that we really, really like as fans. Bruh, I didn't know that about the Moon Knight thing. That's wild, man. That's wild. Let's keep going.
Seems like a great way to introduce Frank Castle into the MCU. Moon Knight seems like it'll be a somewhat grounded, dark, and violent miniseries.
Yeah.
The perfect place for the Punisher's skull to show up in. We also asked our source about Charlie Cox showing up in Spider-Man No Way Home. Before we get into this last little bit of information, we will ask you if you've enjoyed this video so far to give us a like and hit that subscribe button.
You know what? I'm giving them a like.
And
they've earned it.
Notification bell.
In my opinion.
It'll really help us with the algorithm gods over at YouTube. Right. When we asked about Charlie Cox appearing in Spider-Man No Way Home, our source said that they weren't really sure about that. It's all Sony right now, and they're taking bets, and our source thinks that Cox will appear in Spider-Man No Way Home. So there you have it. Jon Bernthal, Charlie Cox, and Kristen Ritter
That's interesting. They're kind of debating the
premiere in multiple MCU projects, and it's pretty much a done deal. There's a script for the Punisher series, and it'll be a hard R, being violent and gory with Western vibes. The Punisher will be on the run, most likely a villain at the start, and
I'm gonna have to do a whole
introduced
update
in
video
the
about
Moon
this.
Knight
This is
series
wild.
as a cameo. And Charlie Cox appearing in Spider-Man No Way Home is a good bet, as it was before. But our sources stated that that has everything to do with Sony at the moment. This is all exciting news, and it's great to finally get some details on these upcoming projects instead of just conjecture. We'd love to hear your thoughts on all of this, so do leave us a comment below. We do read all of them.
What about Finn Jones?
Here at Small Screen, we
Bruh, get that out of here. Finn Jones ain't no good, bruh. Finn Jones is not it. I'm not about it. I'm not feeling it. I like Iron Fist a lot. Danny Rand is cool. But I do not know about that. I do not know about that, sir. Let's see. See if there's anything else going on in this crazy nerdy world. I do have a Star Wars video coming out for you guys later today, and I have a very exciting Star Wars video that's coming out tomorrow as well about a very interesting scoop that the hashtag show has. I think you guys will be pretty freaking interested in the one tomorrow. It's going to be pretty wild. Okay, let's see what else is going on here. Oh, this was pretty interesting. And then, we could talk a little Eternals or something like that. We could talk a little Eternals or something, Eternals it up. Finn Jones is a good actor. That's true. The Scott Buck angle is true, Trev. I briefly see what you're saying there, and I can't even say you're wrong. So, I'm just no thanks on Finn Jones, but hey, if they brought Finn Jones back, I wouldn't be mad. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be upset about it. I'd be like, all right, cool, whatever. Check this out. This is wild. The Eternals just scored the best 24 hours in pre-sales post-Pandy, ahead of Black Widow and Shang-Chi, earning $2.7 million, expecting a $90 to $110 million opening weekend. I assume that's domestic. But that is pretty impressive. You know what I mean? I wonder how many of you guys, let me know in chat, maybe just say yes in chat to see how you, if you did indeed get your tickets yesterday. By the way, I see the man in chat himself, Jack Dele Sola. Jack was the winner of last month's GameStop gift card, $200 GameStop gift card. We give away one of these to a lucky NERDVENGER member at the end of every month. And my man Jack won the one from last month, and I had a nice little chat with him on the Twitter DMs yesterday. We're going to mail this out to him today. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. That's pretty fun, man. I'm glad you got to get in here. I know everybody else is all mad. Because they want you to not claim it so we can do another drawing. But everybody will have another chance at the end of this month. I also wanted to say, too, guys, before we get into Q&A, and we'll get into Q&A in just a little bit here, I wanted to say that you should definitely be checking out thedenofnerds.com. This is our BBS website. It's pretty crazy. All of these posts are NFTs. A lot of fun stuff happening here. You can like get income and earn passive income off of posting and also engaging in all of the stuff here on the website. I wanted to show you guys this post. I posted, this is a comic book pitch that I did many, many years ago, probably over 10 years ago, back when I was doing a lot of work in comic books. And so I posted this. I haven't posted this, to my knowledge, anywhere online. You know what I mean? But I decided to post it on the BBS website. Now it's a little NFT there. I think right now Stevie owns it, but it's being leased by MetLabs. I'm not even 100% sure what that means. I think that they are leasing the banner space on this ad that Stevie owns. Pretty interesting. But if you're interested in checking this out, this was a little pitch that I did about a book that was called The Son of Satan. It was kind of a fun concept from back in the day. I'm not going to revisit this concept. Some people ask me, like, are you going to finish the story or whatever? I'm like, hell no, bro. But, yeah, it's pretty interesting. If you want to read the actual pitch, that's like, I believe, 5 pages. Yeah, 5 pages of the comic. And you can go check that out over there and, yeah, give it a little read, man. Give it a read. And check out the BBS website. I wanted to say, we're going to start doing 2 things with the website specifically, okay? 2 things specifically. I'm going to start a meme board, and every Monday we're going to do a meme review, and we're going to see what the most popular memes are each Monday. So we'll do a little meme review on the BBS website. I'll probably give some engagement and also maybe purchase the memes that I like the best, like sort of as their post or whatnot. So we'll be doing that on Mondays. And then on Fridays, we're going to do Fan Fiction Fridays. Okay, so Moss actually created a board for fan fiction. And what I would love is if you guys started putting together some fan fictions, and then I'll pick the best one, the one that I like the most, before that Friday. And then every Friday on stream, we'll have a portion where I read the fan fiction, the most popular one, or the one that I like the most on there. So go over there, check it out, man. It's a really interesting concept. If you're excited and interested, like in things like cryptocurrency, if you're excited about blockchain technology, NFTs, and all that sort of stuff, go over to thedenofnerds.com, make an account, and start interacting over there. It's a lot of fun. It's really, really cool. It's quite cool, man. It's quite cool. I'm into it. I'm into it, as the kids say. Okay. Now. Well, actually, Moss, I was going to do that before you posted it, but it's just interesting that you created that post before, or, you know, as I was talking about it, you know? Yeah. Friday's going to be extra long streams now, yeah? Yeah, I know. There's a lot to get into. Well, I might do the fan fiction thing as a separate video. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not 100% sure how we're going to handle all of that. Okay. So let's get into the Q and the A portion of today's program. Going to hang out for like 20 more minutes, guys. If you got a super chat, throw a super chat on in. I will answer every single super chat that comes in within reason. If you don't have any loot, don't worry about it, man. We'll go over some of the stuff that's going on in the chat as well. So let's get into that. I also want to say that this stream and all the streams over here are brought to you by the NERDVENGERS, the greatest online community that there ever was. A bunch of awesome nerds, man. You see them in chat with the badge next to their name. They keep the lights on over here at NERDVENGERS Tower. They get all sorts of cool benefits behind the scenes streams, which, by the way, we will be doing one today at 1 p.m. for the Prime members. I've got a really interesting Prime member stream for you guys today. You get the access to that. You get access to all the fun emojis, the badge that changes over time. And when you get to the diamond tier level, When you get to the Diamond tier level, you get access to the Diamond Lounge. You can come hang out, have a drink, have a smoke with us. We do those at least once a month where we hang out in the Diamond Lounge and just kick it together, man. And we talk about stuff that we can't talk about other places. What happens in the Diamond Lounge stays in the Diamond Lounge. You also get 20% off of our Teespring merchandise, and we got some cool, fun designs coming out soon for the merch, baby. Carson Auden, you joined as a Nerdvenger yesterday. Thank you so much. Welcome to the Nerdvengers. And Alex Rios, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. Okay, let's get into this. Let's get into the Q's and the A's here. See what y'all also got to say. Okay, so first in was Never Lose Your Nerd. $2 Holla says, I hate this casting news. Really? This guy? Well, I'll say this. Whenever something like this happens, whenever there's like a crazy casting controversy, I always like to remind people of like Michael Keaton. People didn't think he could do Batman. Heath Ledger. People didn't think he could do Joker. You know, you never really know. I'm actually less. It's funny because to me it's a little bit about James Gunn. Actually, it's a little bit more about James and less about Mike. And I think that Mike will kill it. I think he'll knock it out of the park. But I'm not so sure it will be the Adam Warlock that I desire. So, I don't know. I would say just try to give him a chance, man. Try to give him a chance. Zachary P. with a $5 says, bad casting. As far as I'm concerned, James Gunn is on pretty shaky legs after Guardians 2 and The Suicide Squad. Zach, I can't argue with you. I think some of that's personal taste. James Gunn is just not my favorite flavor. You know, I thought The Suicide Squad was a super fun movie, but it's so ridiculous and goofy that it's a little, I can't get into it. You know what I mean? The way that I would like to get into comic book movies. It's a very surface level experience for me, which is fine. But that's not necessarily what I want out of my comic books, my comic book movies. That's not necessarily what I want out of Guardians of the Galaxy. So we'll see, man. Look, I think James is pretty much done with Marvel after this film. He's doing like what is it, like some kind of holiday special thing or whatever. So we'll see. Maybe that'll be a little bit more up my alley. But yeah, I got you. I feel where you're coming from. Flatbrush Zombie 47 with the $2 house says that Boss Logic, Will Poulter, Adam Warlock is fire. Yeah, it is. It's really cool. Let me see if I can find it. Show you guys this. Because it is pretty cool. Ah, yes. Here we go. Show you this. It's pretty sweet. Check it out. It is pretty cool, man. I mean, it looks like Adam Warlock, the boy. Not necessarily Adam Warlock, the man. But that's okay. You know what I mean? It still looks absolutely fire, so I agree with you on that. I concur, good sir. I concur. Okay. Let's see here. Miss Becky says with a $5 holla. It says, Will Poulter is not my first choice for the part, but he was great in The Maze Runner, so I'm curious where this goes. Yeah, again, you know, a lot of what I've already said. I think got to give him a chance. I think he's a good actor. I'm excited to check out that Hulu show about oxycodone tomorrow, and he's in that, and he's much older, and I think he's playing a more mature character. So maybe around that time, we'll have a better idea of what his Adam Warlock could be like. That could be fun. Trev says with the $5 houses, I wondered, does Disney partially own the Netflix series to use scenes as flashback for the new series? I don't think so. I don't think so, and I don't think they want to. I don't think that's what's on the table, man. You know what I mean? Like and I could be wrong. Like, to be honest with you, I never thought we'd see these characters in the MCU ever. Like, ever. You know what I mean? Like, I never thought we'd see them at all. But yeah, it's interesting that we've got a lot of buzz about it, you know, more or less with Cox and some of these other things. We're pretty confident that it's happening. I do not believe that we're going to see any flashbacks or even really references to plot points from them. I could be wrong, though. Let us see what else is happening. Oh, geez. Lost my place here. The real Jesse Lee Reed with a $5 holla says, 1, Black Knight was my favorite Avenger as a kid. Bummed if he's just a normie in Eternals. Yeah, man. It's kind of where I'm at with it. 2, Poulter would be a better Star Fox than Adam Warlock. Yeah, I could see that as well. I could absolutely see that. You know, kind of a wait and see thing for me as far as Black Knight is concerned, man. I really wanted like him to be the Black Knight. And that's a little bit more compelling to me if he's Black Knight already and he has a relationship with, you know, Gemma and that whole dynamic between like Eternals and humans, because he's saying, you know, it's, to me, it's interesting when he's like, why didn't you guys help out with Thanos or any other threat, right? And it's interesting to me that he may well discover this thing to be able to call the Eternals or to call the Celestials to Earth, you know, that tomb of the gods or whatever thing that's been rumored, et cetera, et cetera. So, yeah, I find it to be interesting, but ultimately I wanted him to be all in the armor and the blade, man. I know the movie's called The Eternals, but come on, man. Have Black Knight just off to the side cutting people up. I think it would be dope. Dorian Trussell, very generous $20 holla, says Kit Harington's Jon Snow was popular in Game of Thrones, and Black Knight will get a solo film that'll explore the Ebony Blade. The character has so much potential. Hawkeye, Punisher, Daredevil, hype, Excelsior. Yes, man, I agree. I just am a selfish nerd, and I wanted it now. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted it now. But I guess we'll just have to wait. And yeah, he's a super cool character, so seeing him play around with other characters, I don't think he'll get a solo movie, though. Maybe a solo show, but more than likely he'll just be in another big Marvel movie, right? Like, they'll sort of set him up in that way, which is fine as well, but appreciate the love, man. See here, you followed it up by saying, hopefully we'll see a reference and cameo of the famous sword Excalibur in the Black Knight solo film. That would be sick. Do you know something that I don't, Dorian? Do you think we're actually going to get Excalibur and we're actually going to get a Black Knight solo film? Is there enough draw to do a Black Knight solo film? You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't really see it. But Yeezy Fo Sheezy with the $2 hug says, never change, Josh. You the best. Comic book hype. Yeah, man, I'm excited. I've been working on a new comic book project, and I finished the first draft of the script, so I'm going back in to fine-tune it right now. But, man, I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be fun. We're going to do a Kickstarter for it by the end of the year. And I'm going to have a tier in the Kickstarter where if you do one of the higher-end tiers, you can get your likeness in the book. Like, you can basically be one of the characters. So we'll have like a limited number of those, but that's going to be really, really fun. And I am quite excited about all of the stuff coming for Marvel, Star Wars, and even DC, you know. By the way, DC fans, I will be watching the DC fandom this weekend. We'll do a stream after fandom is done. We'll do a recap stream. I'm not going to stream the whole thing live just because it's going to be full of copyright issues. And probably has a serious lack of Batflex. So, you know, I'm not that into it. But anyway, thanks, man. Chris19 says, with a very generous $10 holla, says, I'm back. Got a new job, and I've been hella busy, but it's worth the $5 more an hour. Missed my NERDVENGERS, though. Still hoping you won't have to shave your head, Josh. Much love to you, brother. Hey, it's all good, man. I totally understand it. Life takes us in different directions. Sounds like you've got a really cool opportunity there. Nice upgrade for you, my friend. So happy for you. Happy for you, my guy. It's good to see you in the tower. Michael Smith with a $5 holla says, we have doubted Marvel's casting so often, 99% of the time they knock it out of the park. Definitely not Jared Leto, Joker in the MCU. Yeah. It's true. You've got to give it to him. The casting directors and the people that do the casting for Marvel are spot on, bruh. Like, they're spot on. Like, can you guys name me a bad casting choice in the MCU? I'm going to pause and look at the chat for a second here. Can you guys name me? I'm just curious, right? I'm just a little curious about this. Can you guys name me one bad casting choice that Marvel Studios has made? Can you name me one? Brie Larson. But see, here's the thing. I would argue Brie Larson is a brilliant casting choice because that is Carol. She's a snarky, unlikable, grumpy gills kind of gal. I think it's actually perfect casting. ScarJo. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, Rick. I don't know. Yeah, I think they do. I think they do incredible. Terrence Howard. I love Terrence Howard, man. I think Terrence Howard's awesome. Ajax. Who the fuck is even Ajax? Why can't I think of Ajax? Is that in like an Eternal? You talking about an Eternal? Not recasting T'Challa? Fair point. Fair point, Coachella Coastal, but that's not exactly what we're talking about here. By the way, totally bizarro thing, and it kind of a divergence here. Did you guys see the very weird video where Chadwick Boseman is being asked about Black Panther 2 and he says that he's dead? Yo. That shit is weird. Have you seen that? He's like, I'm dead. And the person's like, we're not ready for you to be dead. And he goes, but I am. I'm dead. I was like, that's some weird shit. You know what I mean? That's some weird shit. Yeah, it's eerie. Okay, anyway, let's keep going here. Atomic Champ says for the $5 house, says, hey, Josh, say Feige was a genie and said you get one wish for something to happen in the MCU. What would you ask for and why? Take my money. I would be like, okay, got to do the Clone Saga with Kane, and I want to see a Clone Saga thing with Ben Reilly, Peter, and Kane, and we arrive at the place where Kane saves the day in some way, gets the other, and then goes to Houston, and then you give me a Disney Plus show with the Kane Scarlet Spider in Houston. Oh, that would be sick. But other than that, they're doing everything. They're going to do Secret Wars. They're doing a lot of fun stuff. So that's what I would say, and I appreciate that. I appreciate the question. Thank you so much, man. Low Lives asks with a $5 holla. As long as Warlock throws down some bars from Waterfalls, like We're the Millers, I'm with it. Kenny Warlock, Batnips, hashtag. Well, I do love them Batnips, man. Batnips was life back in the day, I randomly, sometimes the streams will play right after each other, like especially on the TV. So sometimes I get out of the office and I walk out and the stream's playing. And do you guys remember a couple of days ago when I was talking about the flicking of nipples or something? I was talking about like getting enough likes so that YouTube won't flick me in the nipples. That shit was randomly on the other day. I came out and I was like, dude, I am crazy. Like, why do people watch me on the interwebs? I don't fully understand it. But appreciate that. Low Lives. I haven't seen that. I assume he's he's singing "Don't Go Chasing Waterfalls." Is that what's going on in that movie? Don't go chasing waterfalls, sticking to the rivers and the lakes that you're used to. Yeah, it's pretty good. Chase Floyd says with a $5 hello, says, any info on that possible comic you in theory talked about a few weeks ago on Nerd Theory? Hope you are well, my man. Yeah, thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Look, I sent Theory a pitch document. I have this concept that I've been working on, but look, Theory's just busy, man. So, he hasn't really responded to it. Would I love to make a comic book universe with Theory? Absolutely. But I can't put, my plans on hold to, wait for the ideal time for him or the perfect time for him. I mean, I think he's just puts too much on his plate, you know what I mean? Which is a habit I have as well. But, yeah, no, he had the pitch document for a while. I waited several weeks. And technically still, if he wanted to, get in on it for sure, but I really don't see it happening. You know what I mean, Chase? Just being honest. I'm planning on just launching the comic and the IP on my own. You know what I mean? So anyway, ladies and gentle beings, let's chill for 10 more minutes. Nick Skywalker says, with a $5 holler, says, hey man, didn't see you vote Iron Fist and Shang-Chi versus Daredevil and Punisher. Wait. Hang on. There's another bonus poll in the Discord in general. Take more money. Oh, I should do that. You should put those polls on the BBS website, though. You should put those on the BBS website for sure. I could try to find it on the Discord for sure, man. I have a pretty packed day today, though. So, I don't know. We'll see. I'll try to get in there, man. I appreciate the love. Kendall says here, I feel like the casting he was good in were the I like the casting rather. He was good in We're the Millers. Would have rather seen Reggie Jean Page from Bridgerton, but maybe they didn't want race swap drama. You really think Marvel didn't want race swap drama? I don't know about that, bro. I don't know if they even see that, you know what I mean, out there. I don't know if they even really consider that sort of stuff. And some of the things we've heard about the Fantastic Four kind of make me think otherwise. But I understand what you're saying. They probably just thought he was good for the role. You know, they probably just did some readings and had a feeling he was good, you know, for the role. So, let us see here. Terry Moto says, good morning, bro. I hear a very generous $10, man. Thank you so much. Says, good morning, bro. I hear so many rumors about No Way Home, but I hear nothing about Miles Morales in this movie. Hashtag recast T'Challa. Yeah, I'd love for the recast on T'Challa, obviously. The only rumors I've heard with regards to Miles are about his mother being in the movie and perhaps them teasing out more of it. So I definitely think Miles is coming. I think there's a lot of energy and time being spent on figuring that out. But it may be a process. So just like I'm a little bit bummed that we're not getting Black Knight right away, you might be a little bit bummed that we're not getting Miles right away. But it's still coming. Maybe we should just be a little patient, Terry Moto, you know. I'm not really good at it myself, but maybe we can do it together. Maybe we could do it together. What am I hearing about the Fantastic Four casting? I mean, I'm hearing race swap for sure. I've definitely heard that from a number of different people behind the scenes. I don't know. Hey, who knows for sure, man? But that's definitely something I've heard is a race swap is coming for them. Remember, there were all those rumors of the race swapping of the X-Men and all that too. Yeah, it's kind of interesting, though. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what they do. Chris Kimball says, with a $5 house, says, do you think Marvel can do violent and bloody Punisher and Blade, or will they PG-13 it instead of taking a chance and making the series true to the comics? I hope it can be as violent as is needed. You know what I mean? I sort of talked about this in the video yesterday. I'm like, I don't know. Like, we'll see. But pretty dang pumped for the possibility of them actually going there. Like, if they can actually go there, and I think a lot of what Bernthal said in his comments is sort of meant to make fans feel reassured that that's the way that they'll go. According to the video we watched earlier in this stream, they're going hard R with it, like hard R. And, you know, somebody brought this up on the video yesterday. It was a good point. We did see a lot of, like, blood on the shield from John Walker, like bashing that dude's chest in, but you don't see the blood like I feel like you would need to with Punisher, you know? So I don't know. It's an interesting question. I think they could do it. Maybe they plan to do it on Hulu and make Hulu their like Marvel Max place for dropping content. Who knows for sure? Yeah. Disney going violent. Yeah. Why do people care so much if they race swap? You know, it's an interesting debate, right? For some people and some characters, people don't care at all. I think part of where the sort of annoyance comes from some people is that it feels so obviously done because of the sort of cultural time that we live in, right? So, like, if you think about Idris Elba being Heimdall, there were some people that were upset by that back in the day. And then I even saw some people have that argument. And look, people will make logic and make sense of, things in their head for sure. But I saw some people back in the day being like, it's a Norseman. You can't have it like a black Norseman. You know what I mean? And I argue you absolutely could, depending on what happens with the Vikings and the people they conquer, et cetera, et cetera. But back then, I can tell you with almost certainty that it was not a race swap done because people wanted more representation. It's probably just that Idris was dope. And he brought in a really cool performance, right? And so I think some of this comes from a place of culture war elements where people are like, bruh, it's all of this, wokeism. It's all of these people just trying to be woke and trying to ride a wave and do it because it's in a cultural moment, which, to be honest with you, believe it or not, there are people on both sides of that argument, or rather both sides of the political spectrum, that feel like that's not the right way to do it. Did you know, and I don't know how many, this is sort of a nuanced topic, right? But a lot of people in the black community hate the idea of race swapping because it feels like a tokenism thing, right? It feels like a kind of white idea, sort of an easy way out of cultural social issues, right? It's a very, for us, a very white thing to just be like, I know what we'll do. We'll take this classically white character and turn him black, as opposed to creating an authentic, good black character that has black identity, that has black cultural significance, right? So it's actually a little bit more nuanced than I think you might see on Twitter or social media like that. But also there's just a lot of people that are just angry and they're looking for something to be angry about. So yeah, virtue signaling, et cetera, et cetera. Yeah. So again, it is a nuanced idea. And I'm not here to necessarily say one way or another, right or wrong. And it's really not to say either that even some of these people that I think are doing things very without really thinking it through, even some of those people might be well intentioned, right? So it's a really complicated, interesting issue. I think for a lot of people, they dislike the idea of bringing in all the culture war and just continuing to try to slam people of certain beliefs or whatever, right? So it gets into a lot of interesting conversation. I mean, frankly, if I'm being honest with you guys, I actually really enjoy that kind of discussion and that kind of debate and learning more and more about that. But if I'm being honest, what I don't like is the discourse that it creates, because even a lot of you guys who I actually really, really like, you dissolve into really weird bickering and really weird arguing, and it's really and truly, at least from my perspective, it's not coming from a well-intentioned place. It's coming from a place of anger and frustration. You know what I mean? So I hope that answers the question. Ice Cube as Thor would be lit, though. I mean, you picked a bad example, John, because that would be amazing. Why does Doom need to be changed to a woman when we have so many good female characters already? Yeah. As a black man, lack of representation makes me not support certain series. Totally understand that. Totally get it. As long as the story and characters are well written, it doesn't matter who is cast. I mean, yeah, sure, Yeah, best advice is for everyone to stop letting everything anger them. It'll make you a miserable person. Yeah, so you know what I think? I think I'm sort of starting to come around to this idea that what I really want is for people to feel empowered and like not like vulnerable or backed into a corner or, you know, with the target on them. Like I think really and truly a lot of this discourse comes from the place where people do not actually feel empowered, right? So they might not feel empowered in the work that they do. They might not feel empowered in the money that they make. They might not feel empowered because they feel as though their beliefs are being misrepresented and then marginalized. So really, there's a lot of hurt and scarcity and not the best kind of feelings. And people can project things in a really angry, aggressive way, especially because it's human nature when you feel backed into a corner to fight and put the fangs out. You know what I mean? So for me, you know, because I have my beliefs and my beliefs get me in trouble, right? Like my beliefs get me in trouble because like I want to talk about the nuanced point. I want to sort of take these ideas and these concepts and like pull them and play with them as though they were Play-Doh, right? So like even yesterday with like the the bisexual Superman thing, I have like a lot of nuanced, interesting ideas about that because I think a lot of the people that on the surface level got upset about that shouldn't be upset about that at all. You know what I mean? That, like I think things are so mixed up. But ultimately, because there's so much pain, anger, loss, you know, these kind of negative things, when I speak in a way that doesn't just cheerlead for one side or the other, a lot of people end up feeling as though I'm just another one on the other side, you know, and that's sort of, binary thinking, you know, that's got where I get myself into trouble, frankly, is that people on both sides end up getting pissed off at what I have to say because I'm not quite going to cheerlead for either one of them. And though I see where I think a lot of people are coming from, my beliefs are my beliefs. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know. Kind of an interesting little tangent there, but I ultimately want people to feel empowered. And I think more and more when these discussions come up, right, where people are like, hey, because really it's like people are like, yo, pick a side, motherfucker. You know, that's kind of what it is. Like even some of you guys and some of the way you approach these questions, it's really you're saying to me, pick a side. And I think I'm going to start really falling back on this idea and concept of empowerment. You know what I mean? And it's like, because, you know, without going too far down, like my real ass beliefs on this is that most of us are in the same boat of being marginalized, you know, and the system not necessarily working for us. Power is power. And by the way, I think a lot of power is absolutely loving the idea that we are barking about bisexual Superman instead of trying to get everybody more money in their pockets, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll kind of leave it there. Let me get some of these super chats here, and then we'll get on out of here, ladies and gentle beings. Ladies and gentle beings, let us see what you must say here. Nick Skywalker says Transformers marathon on Movie Bros. I'd love it. I don't know. We're, like I said, I'm trying to, like Theory just has so much going on, but it's like, I want Movie Bros to be like, I really want to dedicate time and like really do Movie Bros right. He's just got so much going on. Like, it's just, I don't know what the answer is there. We're trying to figure it out, I guess is the best answer I can give you. Terry Moto says with the $5 holla, I am fine with them putting Miles' mother in this movie, and if Sony does that, I'll take back everything bad I said about Sony. Hashtag recast the child. My man. Terry Moto follows up with a very generous $10 holla. Says, I'm black. I've been reading comics for 44 years. I think the race swap is stupid. Marvel has plenty of black comics. Just give us a dope one on the big screen. I think that belief is echoed by a lot of people. You know, like I just remember like, you know, some of my favorite black writers, whether it's like Dwayne McDuffie or Christopher Priest. And there's this idea, and it's kind of an unfortunate idea because, like, again, super nuanced topic, but like like why do they have to write the black characters? Do you know what I mean? And then there's like this weird social pressure for like black creatives to work on like black stuff. And it's like, dude, like I'm sure, like, dude, Dwayne McDuffie wrote some of the best Justice League stuff. Like Christopher Priest, I bet could absolutely crush an Iron Man book. You know what I mean? And it's not like black folks don't love some of these characters that aren't black. It's such a weird, like, things are just mixed up, man. People are just mixed up right now, I feel, you know? Dorian says with the $5 holla, November 12th is Shang-Chi on Disney Plus. Looking forward to watching it. What do you think will make the Disney Plus Investor Day release slate? Oh, do you mean like what are they going to talk about? Well, I think a lot of that's already projected, right? So, you know, the Book of Boba Fett thing, like, oh, man. You guys know we got to do a watch party for that Boba Fett, John. That is going to be super fun. So I'm excited for that. Hopefully we get a little info on Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, She-Hulk. I think that's kind of the juice there. Maybe even see a little bit of Andor. Oh, girl. That would be fun. So, yeah, I guess that's kind of my answer for you there. Kendall says the $5 holla, if a character is American, they can be any race, but it wouldn't make sense for Doom to be another race. Besides, performance quiets all. I'll stop simping. Oh, it's all good, my guy. I appreciate you, man. Performance does quiet all, 100%. I think that, like, with this whole swapping thing, like, yeah, like a Black Doctor Doom would probably feel weird, right? But I think for instance, a black Dracula could totally play. You know what I mean? Like, I think Black Dracula could play, and yet that's almost more kind of like what you're talking about, right? Like, because it's Transylvanian, it's Eastern European, there's really just not a lot of brothers and sisters around those parts. But if you think about Dracula being perhaps even more ancient than that, and perhaps coming from some other place, maybe like, I'm trying to think of, like, it's like when all, like, a Pangea type shit where like essentially we all come from Africa in some way. So if Dracula was one of the first, like, evolutions off of our global tribe, it's very possible he's dark skinned. You know what I mean? But to be real, like, I don't know, some of that stuff's bogus, right? Like, some of it matters, some of it's bogus. I think a lot of it is culture war related. So yeah, I don't know. They could change it. They could do it. I will tell you this though: there are some awesome, diverse characters already in Marvel Comics. It's like that whole thing of like, why did they need to make like female Thor? Right? Like, why did they need to do that? Some of that's like marketing, but then when you realize it's marketing, doesn't that sort of take away from the oomph that it would have? When you realize it's being done for something other than the story, doesn't that take away from the enjoyment a little bit? You know? I don't know. Your mileage may vary on that. Your mileage may vary on that. Let's see here. Michaela Payne, very generous $10 holla, says, we got deep for a minute there. I appreciate the respectful commentary. Appreciate you, Josh. Hey, I appreciate you too. I appreciate you, all of you, man, and all of your beliefs. And in all seriousness, it's not a meme. You know what I mean? Like, I want you guys all to feel empowered. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want anyone to feel like they can't speak their mind or that their point of view is marginalized. You know what I mean? I think people, more or less, when you strip away a lot of the, the hot topics of the day, I think generally speaking, most people want the same things. They want fulfilling work. They want to be able to provide for themselves and their family. They want a compelling vision of what the future of their life can be. And I wish more of the discussion was based on those kind of ideas and not so much in the, culture war kind of perspective. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We live in the world that we live in. You see, ladies and gentlemen, the bottom line is we live in a society. I don't know if you know that, but we live in a society. You know what I'm saying? All right, everybody, we're going to get on out of here. Much love to all of y'all. We'll keep it moving as we always do. Check out a cool Obi-Wan Kenobi video that we're going to drop later today on the Den of Nerds channel. So make sure you check that out. At 1 p.m., I will see the Prime members. So we'll hit you guys up at 1 p.m. today. It might be a shorter stream, but I think a very good stream. I have some cool stuff I want to share with you guys. And yeah, we'll keep it rocking as we always do. No watch party tonight/tomorrow. Weird, right? Feels a little weird. But it's all love. As I always say, hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Oh man. Hey, got a little spicy there for a second, huh? Got a little spicy. Hope you guys understand, where I'm coming from. We try not to necessarily take it to those places just because it's so contentious. And honestly, all of that is, it's all over the place out there. You don't have to look hard to find divisive content. And so here, we try to keep it light. Talk about the fun, nerdy stuff. But it happens, and we just got to try to approach the topic with love. Hope you guys understand. Can't escape it. No, you're right. You're right. Just want to say I appreciate you guys. No matter how you feel about these things, no matter how you feel about these issues, I appreciate you guys. I really do. So thank you so much. Much love. Go tell someone you love that you love them, man. Yeah. See you guys soon. See ya. Oh, 10:30 tomorrow, guys. 10:30. Regular stream. Prime stream at 1 p.m. Prime stream, 1 p.m. I'll see you there.